back to somewhere, and some of the landscape grass is ready to cut, particularly the stuff out the back where I haven't been driving tractors backwards and forwards. So this stuff is ready to cut. And some of the stuff in the main bit of the farm where I have been driving tractors backwards and forwards. So before we do anything else, I think we should get that cut. And we should get grass off of that for making grass silage. So that's what we're going to do. We have half a set of mowers, well, 2/3 of a set of mowers, because we picked these up in the sales. We need the front mower to go with them. So we're going to purchase that. It's going to put a big hit in our money. I probably will swipe some money from DS Agri. That's how it all works. The money is joint. Did I tell them that? I don't know. They know that from the past. So, yep. I'm going to buy the mower. They will be using these mowers undoubtedly. So, not a massive problem. How much horsepower do we need to run the mowers? 160, 230. So, we need a decent chunk of horsepower. I am tempted to run the big class actually. So I transferred some of the kit across. I had a bit of a tidy up as well because there are a bunch of contracts that I've grabbed for DS Agri to do. There's some sowing contracts. There are some fertilizing contracts. There are some herbicide spraying contracts. So yeah, plenty of work for those guys to do if and when they want to. But what we're going to do is start making some silage. This, I have no idea how much we're going to get off of these two little plots of land. It's not what I actually intended to do, but had noticed it was ready, so we will. Let's grab the rear mower first, actually. So these mowers will swath, and we're going to let them swath to save us some work. Now you could TED this to be semi-dry so that you've got a more compact bale. I'm not convinced I'm going to bale this yet. So the reason I say that is in the sales, there are two loading wagons. There's this guy, 23,000 litres for 25 grand. Definitely think we should get that one. I'm just going to buy it now. Yes, we want the silage additive tank. Bang. Done. We've got a use for it. We're going to be using it for the feeding. We're going to be using it for making some silage in pits, I think. So, yep. Let's just go for it. It's in this. There's more stuff we can pick up in the sale, the better. You can see some of the damage in the grass from me driving across it. But I figure if we get this mown and reset and then stop driving in it, once I've done the job that I actually planned to do. So we want to make sure that the conditioner is on. So we'll turn the conditioner on. We'll turn the conditioner on. We want to change the work mode to swath dropping, and we will lower and turn on the mowers. And we will start cutting. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, this is landscape grass, but should be dropping a normal swath for us. So yeah. My current intent is this will go in the biogas plant, but mainly because we don't have anything else to use for feeding cows at the moment. So we could, and I think I had spoken about, we could mow this and collect it for indirect grazing, but I'm not sure how much we'll actually get off of it. So yeah, this is my plan. And I also want to clear it so that I can use this for a bit of work and not keep damaging it. So That makes sense to me. It won't take long, and we get something off of it. No, that's not what I intended to do. There we go. And what I'm wondering is, as we mow it, do we get to precision farming it? That will be interesting. We might need to rescan it with precision farming. Not certain there. What we need to do is make sure we don't drive in the grown crop without a mower doing some work for us. We'll get less off of the stuff that's been destroyed, but we'll get something, so that's good. And yeah, first silage being made. Make sure we get all of it. Most of it. Not quite all of it. We need to go another bit of a headland there. Bit of a messy job. One of those weird little plots of land. But we need to maximize the return from the land that we own. So we mow what we can. This is, he ignores the corner there. Yes, if we can get it so we can collect it. Yeah. Cool. That works for me. That works for me. Yeah, no, thank you. So normally I'm a big fan of baling silage, my preferred method, but we don't have a baler at the moment. There isn't one in the sales, and I am looking to pick up a lot of stuff in the sales. And so we needed a loading wagon. We've got 2 empty clamps. Assuming that, you know, everything else has got a lot of growing to do, we can get this in the clamp, fermented, and hopefully through the BGA pretty rapidly. Is my thought. And yeah. Or early food to go through the cows, and we'll just prioritize feeding it. Either way works for me. So that's the first bit cut. Then head over here. Do a bit more intelligent with this one. So front mower selected and unfolded and lowered down. We clear the way in for the tractor. And then rear mower down, back up a bit. We'll cut a bit of space. I'm going to lift the front mower. Lift the back mower. And then I can get on a proper route or route. There we go. That's probably not at all realistic, but basically trying to work within the fact that we will damage crop if we drive in it. So that's kind of seems like a sensible idea to me. With trains coming through the gate that we made rather than just driving up here and coming into the field from one of the open edges, which would have probably been infinitely more sensible. Yeah, I know. But why make things easy for one's self? We should actually put a fence around all of this, but the fence was quite expensive, so maybe in time we will be able to afford such luxuries. Or frivolity, not really a luxury. Doesn't improve the quality of our lives, so frivolity, maybe. A folly, even. Fans of Timberborn will recognise my love of using that word. I do like a good folly in Timberborn. They're definitely not going to be the longest job in the world, but I am curious if I get out of here. This is not recognised as a field, so probably I guess the sensible thing to do would be to get the agronomist to rescan it or resoil sample it, maybe, depending on the cost. The other thing to do would be to plough this in at the end of the year and replant grass that we can fertilise and look after properly and get better yields from. Because this is going to be part of our feeding fodder. Yes, just fodder probably, because are there other types of fodder? It's an interesting texture. Interesting stuff going on over there, because I guess, you know, the BGA is a concrete cow. It still takes in fodder. Right, Control V, Control X. Get those folded up. Come on, fold the rear motors up as well. X. Thank you. So it's probably not a lot of reason not to leave those on the Xerion. Yep. Let's buy ourselves some. I guess they actually can't. Yeah, they come on pallets, don't they? SILAGE. And then we want. Yeah, I'm stuck. I think it's here. Yep. Take the 7810. Go grab the loading wagon. As I have no idea how much there's actually going to have been off of here, but yes, we'll see. I'd be happy with 20,000 litres, to be honest. I'd be happy if we fill the loading wagon. I'd be happy if we fill the loading wagon. First we'll fill that up. And then we'll grab the random bit. Around there. There we go. Then we'll head to where we started mowing. Good stuff. And let's get this all collected up. I think my guess might have been wrong, because I've not even got around Headland and we're full on weight. This is where if I had headed it, it would have been better, because it would have allowed me to get more volume in for the mass. So, yep, that's a thing. Let's get ourselves set up. So yeah, grass that has been tedded has less moisture in it, so you get more litres per mass. How it works with bales anyway. I'm assuming that's how it would work when we were loading it. So no, but I just have to make sure. No, or is not the radio. Or is the cruise control? Thank you. Right, because we want to get cruise control set nice and slow. And then we do that. And then we do that. The 4's maybe too slow. And obviously there's not a lot in there, is there? Like a big bale's worth. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. I need to get some pallet forks so I can get that pallet cleared away. So we want another cruise control set to a sensible fieldwork speed. We need to learn what kilometers mean. So yeah, there would have been benefit in me heading this, because I'd forgotten that on this save I play with the trailer weight limit in place, because it's meant to be hard. And that makes it that a little bit harder, but I guess maybe just more time consuming rather than harder. But time limits make things harder, I guess. Yep. So we've had 10 and a bit thousand litres so far. We're clearly going to get more than 20,000 litres because we're already nearly at that 10,000 litres again. So we're going to get a half decent amount off of here, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased with that. Are we going to fit around there? We are. Excellent. So maybe more like 40,000? Don't know. That distance texture is a little bit funky. So we'll grab a screenshot of that. I think that was something we were seeing on the multiplayer server on Poligny at one point. And seeing it there around all the edges of the fields as well. So, yeah, just switch to that one. I'm going to nudge that up to 6 kilometers an hour this time. And we'll go over this one. Get that compacted and spread a little bit. We'll start tipping as we get to the end of it. There we go. And we might as well spread it along some of the length of the bunker anyway. That's better. No, don't crash into your very expensive BGA. I guess we'll loop around this way and through the other clamp. Who had 749 into the BGA? Anyone? Anyone? So yeah, the original plan, which we may or may not get done today, depending on how long this takes, was to buy some manure from the big cow farm on the map. There is a big cow farm on the map. Manure was going to be brought via the magic of tools. I know, I'm ruining the magic. To plant, not meant to plant, to fertilise the herb-grass. The herb-grass is the only field that needs fertilising. And I thought manure spreading would be a fun way of doing it. But I didn't want to keep damaging this crop, and I wanted to get the manure dropped in here because it's a nice convenient location for the herb-grass field, which is just in front of us. So we've got plenty of time to get that field fertilised. I guess not really if we're going to put manure on it, because you want the manure to rot down. So maybe we'll have a change of plan there, and we'll do some faster acting fertilizer. That might be sensible, given we're late in the year. And then we can hit the progress button and push towards things happening. So, as we're nearly full, I'm going to go tip this load. We'll try and avoid the pallet. Get that up. We're already at 20,000. I'm not particularly worried about surprising you all with how much we've got. And yep, there we go. Lovely job. And then we'll swing out to the left, then hook right and through the other clamp again. Much better. So it's going to be a very tiny looking amount in the clamp. But as I say, it's really, I consider this bonus crop. Not something we've planted. It's not something we've taken care of. It literally is just free in my mind. Come on. Free product. Now I'm going to have a look at precision farming. No, it's not registering as a fertilizable crop. Don't know if it's worth trying to do, you know, like crop scanning on it or not. And that's worked out quite well, hasn't it? We can just run straight down there. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll pick the headland up. Yeah, I don't know. First time doing anything with landscape grass, so but it's getting us crop to put in the clamp to feed the concrete cow, which is the only cow we have at the moment. And it's the first time in ages. I'm just trying to think. So have I ever used one of these? I mean, I used the pumps and hoses BGA, but I think this is different because this is the DSA modular BGA, so it doesn't require pumps and hoses. So I did some videos on them way back when, but they've changed a lot since then, we thought. So yeah, it'll be fun to have a look and see what we need to get that thing going. Whether grass silage on its own will be enough. I think it is. Yep. And someone did ask about why are there two fermenters, I think. And it's purely because you can overload the one fermenter with how the BGA is set up. Or because you've got the ability to feed it from the thingy in front of me, plus slurry. I think you can overload one single digester. So, digester, is that right? Can't remember. So that's why there's two. Well, it's why it's good that there's two. Because you can run things faster if you're working it hard. So, yeah. It's cool. I like it. I'm looking forward to having a play with it and having it generate us some cash. And it's quite nice that it was included in the farm for a relatively reasonable price. Yep. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And this is good stuff too. We like free silage. So I said in either the last episode or the one before about the budget in the UK and Ollie Blogs talking about it and me not really understanding what he was talking about. So that has happened. If you're not familiar with that process, because I think every country has that process. Once, I think they do it every 6 months. I think they do a half-yearly one as well. But every certain time period, the incumbent government defines how taxes and all sorts of other things are going to work for the coming time period. And a big change that has been made for farming is it would appear, and I'm not an expert on this, farms used to be exempt from inheritance tax. So in the UK, when you inherit things, you pay tax on what you inherit. And farms used to be exempt from that. And I guess, you know, a farm is worth a lot. So if you inherit something that's worth a lot, the tax bill would be huge, potentially. and they are no longer exempt. The first £1 million worth of value is exempt, and then they receive relief, but the tax bills are potentially quite large, and there's a whole lot of stuff on social media that basically says it's going to kill, family farming essentially, and farms being inherited by the kids of current farmers. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I did see a sensible post from Jeremy Clarkson, don't hate me, basically saying, and if you're inside that time window where you might be inheriting things, then not so great, but basically wait a few years because it will change again. And there is an element of that, it's not written in stone forever, and it's a very unpopular thing with a farming community, obviously. Completely understand that. Completely understand that. It was interesting, seeing on Instagram and things like that, the reactions on the farming pages that I follow. And I do think it's pretty dumb, Farming is, I don't think, a massively profitable industry, I assume. It's good that we have British farming. We want to keep British farming, and to do that we need British farmers who can afford to farm. And so in that case, we need them to be able to keep farming in their families. Really, you don't want, I don't think it's good for farming to be owned by big industry. You don't want Bill Gates controlling where all your food comes from. You really don't. So yeah, I understand the frustration with that. It does seem like a pretty dumb move to tax the people to heavily tax the people that produce the food that we eat, when they are, in an industry that's pretty tough to do well. But it would appear it's pretty tough to do well. I don't know. I am not a farmer. I'm an engineer, as I say often, so don't judge me if you think differently. I'm just expressing what I, just reiterating what I've seen, trying to share some information, particularly globally. Yeah. Seems like it's going to be an interesting time in farming in the UK. It'll be interesting to see if farmers choose to react to it. There was a lot of calls yesterday for farmers to protest and take a leaf out of the French book and protest in London and that kind of thing. And I think the tricky thing with that is the British public are quite fickle, I think, and it'd be quite easy to lose the support of the British public. If you get half of them stuck in a traffic jam for too long, they'll stop supporting you, because the British people are funny like that. So yeah, it was interesting times, and that's not in a good way. The old Chinese saying, may you live, Chinese or Japanese, maybe Japanese actually, yeah, maybe Japanese, may you live in interesting times. And we've got ourselves a bit stuck, so let's bung the old diff lock back on, and there we go. So we have the silage out. Not sure how much we got. Oh, I've got speed limiter on. Okay, not sure which key I pressed to enable that. but it's okay because we've got more tractors. It's VCA control. So let's have a quick look in here at VCA. VCA. Keep speed. Delete. Control delete. Delete. No. Control delete. No. No. Don't really want either of those. Let's do that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to park this up just here. Let's go have a peek in the old clamp. We're only 33% compacted. So we could probably do with a... There was a Weber in the sails in there. Yeah. Oh, silage roller. That'll do. $4,000. Thank you very much. You'll do. You'll do. We'll stick the front weight on for a bit more mass. We'll stick the roller on the back. And that will do us just fine. I can not drive like an Arthur Egypt. Pop it in the back. Right. So silage compacting time. All of the diff locks on, please. 69,000 litres. A nice amount of silage, some would say. But yeah, what we need to do is deal with some of these horrible lumps, which will hopefully compact out with the roller. I don't really want to have to pick up a leveler as well. They seem to be. Get this compacted. Get it covered up. And then I think, because we've got some solid fur left over from seeding the corn, I think I'm just going to borrow the fertilizer spreader that DS Agri brought for doing contracts. Throw the solid fur that we've got in that and get that herb grass fertilized. That seems like a sensible option to me, so I'll be back in a little while. Pretty much done. This pass might do it, if not one more, and we'll be sorted. One little bit more is all that is needed. There we go. So that's that job done. The roller up. Drop that near the cultivator. Green blanket. There we go. Lovely job. So that will need to ferment. Obviously. And what we need to do is the other way I could do this, which would be easier, is join farm. Yes. There. Grant contractor. Yes. Rejoin farm. Yes. And will you... This guy needs to wash. I have put hose pipe in so we can wash our tractors now. So that's good. We'll go grab the fert spreader. It'd be cheeky if there's a little bit of solid fert in there as well, wouldn't it? Let's move their tractor out of the way. Go. Bring ours in because it's got row crops on it, and I'm not sure if we're at the point where we can destroy crop or not. I'm not going to be that boss. Although it's all the same money, not going to be that boss. Partly because we've got some. No. It does all come out of the same pot, but you know. Yeah, no. Let's be nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that guy running. And then don't ask how all of these got in here. You might be disappointed. Obviously, the fertilizer was brought in with the Merlot with the big bag handle. So I'm not sure if 700 litres is going to be enough, but we'll see. So we want automatic application rate. Going to drop the working width down because it's not the biggest field in the world. I'm going to go start over the back corner. And I'm not going to apply a huge amount. I'm just going to apply enough for a first cut. With the hope that we will get some alternative options for fertilizing next time round. And also the hope that that means this will last. Which would be good. We can eke out this little bit of fertilizer to do this one field. Be happy. You can see the other fields in the nitrogen map are all in pretty good shape. So, yeah. It's not looking like we will make it round. But we have to buy another bag. We do. It'd be nice if we didn't have. Wheat's looking good. Wheat's looking very good. I am liking that. Yes, we've used nearly half of this already, just getting around the headland, so probably we won't get the whole field fertilized. Can I go a bit faster? No. No, I can't. But yeah, I did go around the farm, and this was the only field that needed nitrogen, so I don't think we're going to be able to put nitrogen on the landscape grass. Right. On to the GPS track. And we'll see how we do. So I could now make this wider, but kind of feels unnecessary. Wow, 65 kilograms of nitrogen pack. We're definitely going to need to buy more. We are definitely going to need to buy more solid fert. That's okay. It's good seeing all the potatoes have jumped up nicely. With a bit of a sleep, they've jumped up a lot. Wow. Yeah, Yeah, so we'll get a bag of fertilizer delivered. Bag, solid fur. Fine. Yes. Okay. Obviously, I am doing it properly and, you know, like a real farmer, because they have the R button, don't they? I know there are a few of you watching. You have the R button. Once you've lowered the implement, you just hit R, don't you? And it fills up. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. I know what you guys are like, complaining about how hard it is. You have R button and save and reset. Exactly. I thought so. I thought so. So yeah, once this little job is done, so there's the fertilizing contracts and the seeding contracts. The seeding contracts are for sorghum. I didn't realize that window was just opening, so they've got to be done in the next 4 weeks in game. So can't jump ahead too rapidly, but we can start to make progress and get our stuff growing, which is really cool. Nice. As one of you said, we're through the 7-part introduction and now into working the farm, and I kind of felt like that. Now the nice thing was in that 7-part introduction is I pretty much knew what I was doing every video, whereas now it's more of a let's turn on the game and see what we get to do, which is fine. Yeah. As I said, with playing the single save, actually things are a lot easier in that respect. So, yeah. So I am going to take back my fertilizer. We're all one happy family. Honest. We really are. What's mine is theirs, and what's theirs is theirs, and what's, I don't know. Ultimately, it is all shared stuff, so it really doesn't matter. That's why I put a whole bunch of things in the sheds over here. Right, go close. I'm actually going to drive into there with the fert spreader on the back, actually, before we finish. No, that doesn't count as a field. I guess it makes sense because it's a landscape grass, isn't it? It's not field grass, which is a completely different crop, actually. So that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click that like button. We do not smash like buttons, remember. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, stick them below, and I'll see you all next time.